Polo G snuck into the rap scene when heavyweights like J. Cole and Migos were returning from their long hiatus. He dominated almost every chart back then and has continued to blow out minds ever since. He's recently released his Hall of Fame album, and with his melodic style and sick flows, he's quickly turning into a mega star. Just at the bright spot in his career, with the release of his third studio album, he once again found himself in an unlucky situation. The young rapper has had a run-in with the law after being pulled over by authorities. A vehicle search resulted in Polo being arrested, along with for possession of a firearm. We're going to cover all there is to know about Polo G and his arrest in this video. Before we kick off, take a moment to like and subscribe to our channel. Let's dive right in. Early life. Polo G is one of the younger rappers dominating the scene currently. He was born with the name Taurus Tremonti Bartlett in the rough and tumble Cabrini Green neighborhood in Chicago in 1999. He grew up the second of 4 children, with an older sister before him and a younger brother and sister. In his youth, the family would often have very little to no food at home, with barely any clothes in the closets. His parents were really young and were learning a lot about parenting as they went on. Back then, he considered school to be a brief distraction from the passing reality of his life at home. He liked to answer questions in class, and even though he had nothing to eat when he got back home, he continued to give his best. Polo G has said that growing up, he had to suffer the loss of several family members and friends. His rough childhood in the projects also made him get involved with drugs, high-speed car chases, and Grand Theft Auto. He was arrested more than 5 times and has spent several stretches of time in correctional facilities in Chicago. The Chicago Police Department has records showing that Polo G was arrested in October 2017 for possessing around 30 grams of along with charges of criminal trespassing. That same year in December, he was arrested for a different set of charges, serving a sentence at the Cook County Department of Corrections both times. Music became his outlet when he had to find a way to cope with the violent loss of his several family members and friends. Drug addiction. Polo G had a couple of brushes with drug addiction in the past, and he has never been silent about his struggle with drugs. He has touched on this sensitive issue several times in his songs, like in the song 21, where he said, "Can't relapse off these drugs, man, RIP to Juice. We was tweaking off them perks, I popped my last one with you." He had revealed he had been hospitalized before his ecstasy addiction, which he had for 3 years. At that time, he felt he needed to be high to even feel alive. It took him a close call with death for him to finally let go of his addiction and pay attention to his health. Career. This talented rapper was already spitting out fire before he became a teenager. That was around the time he released some of his earlier songs, which he posted online in 2017. He didn't come up with his rap name randomly. He has revealed that the 2 parts of his name have meaning special to him. The Polo is his rap name gotten from his favorite clothing brand, and the G is in honor of his friend Gucci, who passed away at 16 years old. Before he decided to focus on his rapping full time, he had it in his head to attend a college in Pennsylvania to study broadcasting. Polo was even accepted to Lincoln University, but he ultimately decided not to attend then, as he had too much love for rapping. Polo likes to compare himself to Tupac, who he considers as one of the all-time greats. He has once stated on Instagram that he is Pac rebirth. This standard comes across in his music too, and he has sampled Pac's hit Changes while he rapped on his song, Wishing for a Hero. His father was a big Tupac fan, and it was the culture of their home to listen to a variety of music. He has also cited Lil Wayne as an early inspiration for his music, whose influence is clearly evident in his music. Polo G is popular for his vivid and brutally explicit lyricism and storytelling. He usually touches on tough subjects like mental health and racism. His style of music sometimes leans into drill with a touch of R&B. Polo G likes to keep his approach fluid and comes to each new song with a different vibe. He's a dynamic young rapper capable of shifting from smooth melody to hard drill from track to track. He's recognized with a signature Chicago-style rap that incorporates the delivery of quick verses as opposed to melodic tracks. He became a student of the drill movement, which was beginning to become popular because of trend-setting artists like Chief Keef. Polo G decided to carry on with the Chicago tradition and solidified his name as a budding voice in the rap game. He's always been wise beyond his years, and his lyrics evoke a sense of realness that you would not expect from such a young rapper. The first studio song Polo G recorded was ODA, which released on YouTube. He later described the experience as thrilling in an interview he did for RollingOut.com. His song gained some attention, inspiring him to release more tracks on YouTube, such as The Come Up, Welcome Back, Gang With Me, and Never Cared. He launched his official YouTube channel in May 2018, The same month he made his SoundCloud debut with the mixtape he called Official Polo G SoundCloud. He was so pumped that he uploaded 10 songs on his SoundCloud that same day. His first major hit on SoundCloud was with the song Gang With Me, which was played more than 3.28 million times on SoundCloud. He was in prison before another song of his called Finer Things would hit the charts in 2018. The melodic and motivational song pushed his little fame to new heights. With these two songs, he cemented his name as one of the most exciting upcoming rappers in the industry. The video of Finer Things was able to get up to an incredible 54 million views. The success of his independent song brought in several offers from major labels all over America. Polo G didn't like the idea of signing into a label though, as he would rather remain independent and pursue his music on his own. He eventually decided to sign a distribution deal with the label Columbia Records. The first song he released through his distribution deal debuted at number 95 on the US Billboards and emerged as Polo G's first charted track. The song, called Pop Out, later peaked at number 22 on the chart. The subsequent music video became a hit and gained over 78 million views on YouTube. Polo G is quickly becoming a mini star as his YouTube channel has already amassed over 692,000 subscribers with a total of more than 212 million views. He has gained most of his popularity through his activity on social media platforms like Instagram and Twitter. In February 2020, Polo G released the track Go Stupid, featuring fellow rappers like NLE Choppa and Stunna Vegas. Some of the best produced the song in the production game, Mike Will Made It and Take Heath. Go Stupid became his second song to hit the Hot 100. It peaked at number 60 on the Hot 100. This success he saw with his rapping inspired him to go even further, releasing his dynamic album The GOAT in May 2020. The album shot straight up and debuted at number 2 on the Billboard 200. The album had features from big names like Juice WRLD and Lil Baby. Earlier this summer, his Hall of Fame album hit number 1 on the Billboard 200, which has been the highest point in his rising star's career. He was able to earn 143,000 equivalent album units in June. Arrest. It was reported on September 7, 2021, that Polo G was once again arrested while riding in the passenger seat of a vehicle. The vehicle was pulled over by authorities, though it's unclear why the car was stopped. When the authorities searched the vehicle, they found a firearm in Polo's possession and the driver's possession, which authorities have only described as a. Polo G's lawyer has yet to release any statement concerning the arrest, and it's unknown whether Polo G is still in police custody. Previous to this, Polo had already had a run-in with the law in Miami only a little less than 3 months ago. He had left an event that was meant to celebrate his third album, Hall of Fame. He somehow got into trouble and was taken into custody on the morning of June 12, 2021. His charges were a small heap. He was charged with resisting arrest, assaulting a police officer, criminal mischief, and threatening a public servant. The altercation reportedly happened when Polo and his younger brother were pulled over in a car for having overly dark tinted glass windows. Polo had to be forced out of the car for refusing to comply with instructions after they had been pulled over. He managed to strike the officer that was arresting him. The officer later claimed to have sustained multiple injuries, an abrasion to the right chin area, and a swollen cheek. He was held in the cell on a $19,500 bond that was paid promptly, ensuring his release later that same night. The arrest had a lot of publicity back then. The handling of her son was criticized by Polo's mother, Stacia Mack, who's also his manager. She revealed that Polo's 16-year-old brother was also arrested in Miami, yet the police refused to disclose the locations of her children. On his release, Polo accused the police officers of targeting him and his crew ever since their arrival to Florida. For this recent arrest, the rapper was later said to have been pulled over for a traffic infraction which was not specified. This led to a physical conflict between Polo and a 22-year-old officer named Brandon Carrero that pulled him over. The other police officer who witnessed the scene alleged that the two ended up in a struggle on the floor as Polo G struck blows to Carrero's head, chin, cheek, and forehead during his attempt to handcuff Polo G. This arrest seems to be more serious, as Polo G was alleged to have threatened his arresting officer while he was held in custody, promising to kill him or use his fists to beat the shit out of him. Polo G was released from custody on September 7th on a $35,000 bond, and he has a court date for January 6, 2022. Rumor has it that he could possibly be facing a sentence that would have him incarcerated for a very long time, potentially damaging his budding career. At this time, there has been no talk from Polo on his social media, and his spokesperson has no comment on the incident. That brings us to the end of today's video. If you liked the video, please leave a like and comment below. Also, if you're new to the channel, subscribe and hit the notification bell for future content.